Phase 2 training. For those of you that can't be on live, no worries. I totally get 12 p.m. can be an off time for some people with work and all the extra things that we have going on in our lives. But I'm excited for those of you that are able to be here live. This week is week 1. This week we are focused on mindset. We're focusing on time management heavy because you only have 24 hours in the day. But the way that you use that time is completely up to you. And I feel like it's so important to know that your time is valuable, your time is non-refundable, and making the most of the time that you do have is how you learn how to build a business in your pockets of time. And then we're going to be going over branding 101. So our agenda for today is going to be focusing on a GoPro mindset. We're going to be focusing on goals. We're going to be focusing on time management, and we're going to be focusing on branding. So the GoPro mindset, this month, I'm going to be asking you to get a book by Jon Acuff. It's called Start. And this book is absolutely amazing. You can get it on Audible. You can get it paperback. You can get it on Kindle. It's totally up to you. There is like another like label to it. Like there's more to the title than just Start. There's like all of these things on the cover, but it is called Start and it's amazing. I was going to have you read GoPro, which I've read multiple times, but it's kind of an older, outdated book. And I feel like for all of the intents and purposes, Start is a little bit better of a book for this training. I feel like you'll get more out of it and it's current. So I'm super excited for you to kick off that book. Make sure you get your hands on a copy of that book. Let me know if for some reason you have questions about that. But today we're going to talk about a couple of things with the GoPro mindset. There's 3 different types of coaches. And I want to let you know before we even start this, before we kick this off, that it doesn't matter which category you fall into in this very moment. You have a choice in which type of coach you're going to be. Now, there's a poser, there is an amateur, and there's a professional. And I don't want you to take any of these and a negative connotation if you are sitting in one of these either poser or amateur places right now. I know when I first started this business, I started out very much as an amateur and I had to change my mindset and shift my mindset to grow into a professional, a business owner. And so we're going to go over those 3 things real quick. So the poser kind of thinks of this like the lottery. You're looking to hit it big with as little effort as possible. And while I think this is the mindset, while I think I could coach, I've got maybe 5 people I can help that I can think of off the top of my head. But then as you invite those 5 people and each person ends up saying no, or not right now, or I don't think so, or maybe that's not for me. This type of coach loses faith in themselves and the little bit of belief that they had that they could build this business. This coach is kind of like the victim coach of like, oh, I just don't have what it takes. Oh, well, I tried. I gave it my best. Now, if you fall into this category right now, it's okay because we are going to shift you right out of it. I know sometimes we come to this business and we've got a little bit of belief in ourselves and we think maybe I have a few people I could invite to this, but ultimately it is so much bigger than that. And this business can grow into something bigger and more beautiful than you've ever dreamed possible. And I have faith that if you're here and you've made it this far, you've made it through new coach training, that you're here to be a professional. Now, the second type of coach is an amateur. And this is where I sat whenever I first started this business. I was willing to put in a little bit more effort than the poser, but also I kind of had that mindset of, I think I can do this. I had maybe 300 friends on Instagram. I didn't even have a Facebook at the time. And I remember saying, I can talk to these people. I can invite them to do this with me. I've already been sharing my results, and that has built some trust with my audience. But as the no's started rolling in, my confidence went, the first month was great. I had people in my inner circle that joined me, but after that, I had a lot of people telling me no. And I feel like the amateur coach is hoping to get lucky. They are asking questions like, do I have the right upline? They're asking questions like, could I ever be as good as my upline? They're asking questions like, maybe I'll find the right person and I'll just get a ton of referrals from that person. Or maybe I'll have a post that I share that's just going to go viral and people are just going to start flocking to me. That's the mentality of the amateur. And I remember thinking as a coach, like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll write this awesome post or I'll make this video that everybody loves and it'll just go viral and people will come to me. You guys, in my 7 years as a business owner, I'm here to tell you that people are not going to just come to you. It will be those rare occasions where people come to you because you've built enough trust with your audience that they feel comfortable enough shooting you a DM. But I was not that person when I first started this journey. I would not have reached out to anybody and asked them for help because I had too much pride, because I'd failed things too many times. And I honestly needed somebody inviting me in order for me to feel comfortable to be like, yeah, send me some more information. So I've always kept that in the back of my mind too. Who was I when I first started this journey? And I'm going to show up and invite people and do what I needed when I first started this journey. I'm going to be that to others. So I need you to know that everything that you need, you already have. It's within you. You are absolutely 1,000% in control. It's not about getting in at the right time or having the right upline or your age being too young or too old or your background or not having a background in health and fitness and nutrition. You don't need to have all those things because Beachbody provides all of that for us. Our team provides everything that you could need to build your team and to build your business and to create a business beyond your wildest dreams. But you have what it takes within you. And so we're going to be focusing on this belief factor as we go through this phase 2 training. But I need you to know that you've got to drop that victim mentality of I'm hoping to get lucky, or I don't have what it takes. The market's too saturated. There are too many coaches out there, or there's somebody out there that's better than me. You are uniquely made. God made you to be the amazing, incredible human being that you are. And you have special gifts and talents that nobody else on our team has. And you are going to reach the right people because you have that slight edge that nobody else has. And because you are going to show up authentically, you're going to be genuine, you're going to share your journey in a way that connects with your audience. And we're going to teach you how to do that because, again, you have all the tools that you need. Even as an amateur, we're going to focus on building that belief. So if you're sitting at an amateur, I just need you to know that you can become a professional. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the difference between amateur and professional. So the professional focuses on developing skills and taking action. Smart people take notes. Make sure that you have a pen and paper out and take notes. And if you need to come back and listen to this again and take notes, you'll have the recording. But professionals take action. They develop the skills and they're not worried about taking messy action, knowing that through that messy action is where they're going to learn and grow. We have to fail forward. We have to stop thinking of failure as this negative thing and start taking it as it takes a lot of failure to become really good at something. Do you think a professional athlete wakes up on day one and they're just an absolutely amazing football player or hockey player or gymnast? Absolutely not. Like, they are having to hone in on those skills and develop those skills and take action every single day in order to become the professional athletes that they are. Same thing goes for building a business and being an entrepreneur. You know that you have all the skills that it takes to be successful, and everything that you don't already have, everything that you don't possess right in this very moment can be learned. Successful people are not special. Successful people just take massive action and are willing to put themselves out there to learn and grow and develop the skills that they need in order to be successful. I know when I started this business, I absolutely did not have the skills that I have today, but you know what? YouTube can pretty much teach you anything you need to know. And Beachbody is really good about putting out videos on Vimeo and on YouTube that can help guide you in your business. We have an entire training system in our back office. You have our unique team training system that's going to walk you through everything. You have me as your mentor, and I'm available all the time, except for evenings and weekends. And if you really needed something and it was an evening or a weekend and you messaged me, 9 times out of 10, I would still be there for you as quickly as I could be, even if it's not right away. You have what it takes. You have all that you need. So you need to look at your coach and say, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I see that Katie is doing this, or Nicole is doing this, or Nina or Aaron. I see these coaches doing really big things. I can learn the skills I need to learn in order to be successful. How do you do this? By doing your daily tracker, non-negotiable. By posting to your social media, non-negotiable. By learning and growing in your conversations, by having conversations, not skipping over the hard stuff that makes you squeamish and gives you butterflies and makes you sweat a little bit and makes your mouth dry up. You do those things anyways, because as you do those things and you face them head on, guess what happens? You build confidence. You build confidence in doing the hard things, and your business is going to pay you how you show up for your business. If you're showing up and treating your business like a hobby, guess what? It's going to pay you like a hobby. But you know what? Even as a hobby. So for instance, Paisley's in gymnastics. Even with gymnastics being her hobby, she still has to buy the right attire to go to gymnastics. She still has to pay for her classes. We bought her gym mats for gym so that she can practice at home. And that's with it being a hobby. She is not even an amateur or a professional yet. For Harley, she's playing softball. We had to get all the gear and the bats and everything. And now we're looking at some different things for her going and playing all-stars. There's a lot of things that are required, even if it's just a hobby, even if it's just for fun. It's going to take time and energy and effort. And you can either show up and treat it like a hobby, or you can show up and treat it like the professional business that it is, and be willing just to fail forward, to take messy action, and to learn and grow as you go. So again, that's done by showing up and doing your tracker, by showing up on social media, by learning and growing in your conversations, and just being willing to be present, to show up for team calls, to show up for these calls, do these homework assignments. So time is non-refundable. The whole goal for us as we go into this time management portion is to focus on being intentional with our time. We don't know how long we have on this big, beautiful earth, but we know that while we're here, we want to leave behind an impact. I don't know about you guys, but I know I want to leave behind a legacy for my children. And I want to leave behind a legacy of loving and serving others and being a giver and helping those that have a need that I can fulfill with my duty and obligation as a coach. I have a gap that I can fill. I have, not only these skills that I've developed over time, but more importantly, these incredible tools and resources that Beachbody gives us at our fingertips that we can utilize to love and serve and help other people. So how are you going to use your time? And I think it's important to sit down and figure out what your time is going to look like. Because again, we have so much time in the day. We don't want to be wasting the time that we do have. We want to be using this time wisely, and we want to be using it with intention. So I'm going to ask you to sit down and really break out what your schedule looks like. You can either print this out, or what you can do is you can get pen to paper and do it in a notebook. Or I know I've shared, last month, the electronic version that I have, and I'll share it again in our homework assignment. But I want you to take this schedule and I want you to really sit down Monday through Sunday and look at your time and look at where you have little breaks in your schedule where you can squeeze in business activities. And then I'm going to teach you how to work in your pockets of time, to use your time with intention for the business building activities to grow your business. So I need you to sit down and really write in every single thing that you have going on, whether it be kids' doctor's appointments or nephews' baseball games, or you have work, or you have your non-negotiable time that you've carved out for your own workout, or maybe you have an appointment or a doctor's appointment, whatever the case may be, whatever you have going on Monday through Sunday, I want you to sit down and I want you to write this out and I want you to get organized. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look for those little blocks of time where we can squeeze in the business activities. So your Success Club tracker, again, this has to be non-negotiable. You have to be willing to lean in and fill out this tracker each and every day, not skipping over the parts that make you squeamish, not skipping over the invites or the connections or the follow-ups, making sure that you're doing those things each and every day. It won't feel overwhelming if you're showing up and you're doing each thing daily. What feels overwhelming and almost like it wants to stop us in our tracks is when we don't do it for days on end. And then we try to do it again and we're like, oh my gosh, I need to play catch up because I didn't show up for the last 4 days. If you do a little bit every day, that little bit builds momentum. It adds up. It matters. So making sure you're showing up and filling out your tracker every single day to the best of your ability, and reaching out to me if for some reason you feel like there's an area that you don't know how to complete, or maybe you're unsure of, or maybe you just need a little bit more mentoring on how to follow up with somebody, and how to do it in a way that's not icky, where you're not bugging them or constantly in their inbox, like every 12 hours, like we want to do it in a good, genuine, authentic way. but also we don't want to be afraid of the invite. We don't want to be afraid to send that message, because you know what? You are holding someone else's future captive in your mouth when you have a solution to a problem that they have and you're not willing to invite them. And one of the coaches on our team, Erin, I'll never forget this. And she shared her story not that long ago on a team call, and it was so, so powerful, but she was suicidal. And I know that when I reached out to her and invited her to this incredible community, it has changed her life. She is here today, breathing and vibrant and absolutely amazing and living her best life. She just got a promotion at work. She just moved with her partner and her little boy to this brand new, incredible apartment complex that has all of these amazing features. Like, her life is better than she could have ever imagined possible back when all of this was going on and she was having suicidal thoughts. And here she is today, better than ever. And she is a true testimony of what an invite can do. It is a lifesaver that you are throwing out to somebody when you invite them to join you on this journey. You don't know what's going on. I didn't know all that she was going through. She didn't publicly talk about those things, but in conversations that we've had, I realized what an impact me loving her was, me inviting her, me constantly showing up on her social media and just being a bright light in her day. Those things matter. So we have to remember that it is an opportunity to change someone's life every single time we invite them. And if they say no or not right now, great. You can invite them again later, but ultimately it's in their time, not ours. It's not our job to determine the outcome of the invite. It's our job to be bold and brave and put the idea out there and let them know, hey, this is an all-inclusive environment. You are welcome here. You can sit with us. We are a community that is based on zero judgment. You can lock arms with us. We will help you become the best version of yourself, because that's truly what we stand for. We love, we serve, we inspire. So you need to fill out your tracker to its entirety every day. I don't care if you use the electronic one that's in your Coach Online office, or if you use the paper one that you can print out this PDF. I also have a spiral that I use that I found on Etsy, and you can use that too. It's totally up to you what works for you. It's not about the tool itself. It's about following the system, because the system works. So next thing we're going to talk about is managing your notifications. This is important because we want to make sure that we are, again, making the most out of our time, getting our tracker done every day, posting to social, having conversations. So in my professional opinion, having push notifications to your phone from social media is not necessary. And what it does is it leads to a reactive business, which means you are constantly in that state of, oh, I need to respond to this, or, oh, I need to go check into this group because maybe somebody posted again and I don't want to miss it. You are leading a very reactive business when you're constantly at the beck and call of your notifications. So instead, I want you to have a proactive business, and I want you to set aside time to respond to likes, comments, and views. And don't do it as a reaction because somebody else commented in a group or liked one of your photos. I want you to set aside a pocket of time, put it into your little planner over here, and you're going to write it down, and you're going to say, at 8 a.m. on Monday through Sunday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go respond to likes, comments, and views, because then you are in control of your business and you are not leading a reactive business. You at that point are being very, very proactive about what you're doing. And that is what we want. Oh, wrong slide. So I want you to be proactive about it. I'm going to beg you again, it's your choice. It's your business, but I'm going to beg you to silence your notifications. You don't need to know every time somebody likes a photo. You don't need to know every time somebody comments on a post that you commented on. Turn all that stuff off. You'll notice, and I'll show you, I have all of my Messenger notifications turned off and my Facebook and Instagram, but I get messages all day long. You guys, if I pull this up right now, look how many messages I have. I have all these messages that I need to go in and check out, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not tied to my phone, but it also doesn't distract me and make me feel like, oh, I need to go in there right now. There's no notifications in there. So I don't see them. I will go in and do it in my pocket of time when I am being proactive and responding to my Messenger messages. And same thing goes for Instagram. I respond to all of my DMs and I'll check in a couple of times throughout the day, but I'm not tied to it. It is not managing me. I am managing it. So I also want you to manage your groups. The groups that you're a part of, make sure that you're pinning those important groups to the top, like our team page. like our wellness community, like our gut protocol group that we have going on right now. Pin those things to the top. But outside of that, I don't want you to react to a post every time a post is made in the group. I'm proactive with checking into my groups, probably, I want to say 1 to 2, sometimes 3 times a day. But it's not immediately. And it's not as soon as somebody comments or posts. I am proactive about setting aside that time so that I can go in and check my team page. I can post to my team page. I can check in on my community. I can check in with my gut group. I do those things, not just when I get notifications, but when I am in control of it. And I'm going to urge you to do the same thing. For the Messenger app, again, I just shared that with you in DMs. Whether you're on your phone or on your desktop, you can have the Messenger app so you don't get distracted by your news feed. If you haven't downloaded it, I highly suggest it. You definitely want it. It allows you to connect and do business when it best fits your schedule, to not get distracted by the DMs and to not be tied to the DMs, which I highly suggest. And same thing for Instagram. Something that I do is a lot of times I'll pull Instagram up on my desktop so that I'm not being distracted by the scroll, because it's really easy, you guys. We get lost in social media sometimes. It can be very distracting. I'll see one person's post and the old me used to would scroll and scroll and scroll. And I would look up and 20 minutes later, I hadn't done my business activities because I got lost in the sauce, as Crystal would say. I got lost in the sauce and I got lost in the scroll. So I want you to be proactive about it. So when you pull it up from your Instagram on the desktop, you're able to limit the distractions. You're not caught up in the feed and the stories. And those are what really diminish you from doing focused work. If you think you're working, but you're spending a lot of time scrolling social media, or you're constantly unorganized about what you're doing, when I hop on social, you guys, I'm posting, I am replying to stories and connecting with people. I am responding to likes and comments and views. I'm not distracted by everybody else's stuff that they have going on. When I go to connect with somebody, I go to their page, I respond to some stories if they have some, I like and comment on a few photos, and I write their name down. And that's how I know I'm intentionally connecting with people. I'm not getting lost in the scroll and just commenting on this person and then commenting on this person. I'm being intentional about it. And I'm intentionally connecting with people that are connecting with me. So if I see people are watching my stories or liking and commenting my photos, guess what? Those people are getting extra love from me because they're already interested in my life and what I'm doing, or else they wouldn't be liking and commenting on my stuff. So I am definitely going to go to them first and like and comment on their stuff too, because I want to share the love. So I'm going to urge you for your Messenger and your Instagram to really take a step back. Stay out of the DMs unless you need to be in there responding to messages, but don't just keep clicking it and checking it throughout the day. Set aside a time to do that. And then if you have ongoing conversations, you can check it a little bit more. But outside of that, I don't need to know every time there's 32 pings in one of the group message threads that I'm a part of. So that's how I limit distractions. Okay, so social media posts, let's talk about that. Something that you can do to really help you to stay consistent with posting to social media is writing the words of your post in advance. And I feel like this is huge. And this is something that I do all the time, that I am a huge advocate for, especially when I'm going to be going on vacations or being out of town. When it comes to like my girls and knowing I'm going to do like a birthday post for them, I kind of look at what my life looks like, what my week looks like. And a lot of times I don't write all of them in advance, but I will write a bunch of them. And before I went to Punta Cana, I had like 10 posts locked and loaded and ready to go. Because for me, writing a post is me writing out my heart. It's me telling my story. It's me talking about my children. I put my heart and my soul into my post because that is how I connect with other people. That is how people read my words and feel connected to me. It's the art of storytelling. So for me, I need a little bit of quiet. I need a little bit of, my own time to really write a post and to do it in a way that is meaningful. And so I will write the words to my post a lot of time in advance, especially if I know I'm going on a date night. I'm like, I don't want to be tied to my phone. I'm going to snap a picture with my husband. I've already got the words typed up and I'm going to post it on the way to the restaurant. And then my phone goes up and I'm dedicated to my husband for the rest of the night. So it can be that way in any type of scenario. I'm going to be writing a lot of posts before we go to Coach Summit because I know what's on my heart to share for a lot of it. And I don't want to spend all of my time writing posts and not being present with our team while we're there. So you can write the words to your posts in advance. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. So for Instagram stories, I want you to know that you don't have to be tied to your stories. Stories are an important, like behind the scenes. It's like reality TV, you guys. I love Instagram stories for this reason, because I feel like you can truly get to know somebody. They see my face, they hear my words, they see my screw ups, they see when I fumble and fall, they see my successes, they see my kids, they see my husband. In my stories, it's my daily life. But I need you to know that it doesn't have to be in real time. You can record the moment, just like I was saying with my husband. I take my picture, but I've already got my text written, but then I enjoy the moment, right? And you can post your stories later. Anybody that knows me knows that 9 times out of 10, I do not post my stories in real time. The stuff that I'm posting is after the fact, because I'm going to be present in the moment, and I'm not going to stress myself out about feeling like I need to be tied to my phone all the time, because that would steal my joy. And this business is supposed to give me a life and give me freedom, not be my life and take away my freedom. So you've got to be in control of that though, right? Like nobody tells you have to be on your phone all the time. I usually load out some stories in the morning. Sometimes I'll load out some midday. And then a lot of times, oh, I got to fly, sorry. And then a lot of times I'll do some in the evening before I go to bed, but I make sure that my whole day is shared. And it's easy enough to do when you have that plan in place and you don't feel tied to your phone, like you have to be doing everything in real time. So I just want you to know that you can write out the text to your post in advance. You can make sure that you're taking your stories, capturing the moment, and then posting it later. Just remember to post it later. Don't allow that to be an excuse to not do it at all. Like you're taking the time to take the pictures and the videos, post them later, and make sure that you actually do it. The next thing we're going to talk about is branding 101, and we're going to kind of just breeze through this a little bit quickly. But branding 101, I feel like this is super important because I want you to know how important it is for you to share different aspects of your life. When you become a coach, coaching doesn't become your life. It becomes a part of your life, just like being a mom is part of your life, or being an aunt is part of your life, or, your book club, or your church, or your kids' activities, or your significant other, or your parents. Like all of these things are a part of your life, right? Coaching will not be your life. It will be one of these tiny little slivers here, but the rest will be your life. And I want to teach you how to do this in a way that feels really authentic to you, because when it is, posting and sharing your life and your journey will never feel weird. So be colorful. Now, here's some examples of things that you could do to be colorful. And I'm just going to share some with you that are part of me. So coach life, milestones of my kids, my faith, my morning routines, date nights, having a joy mindset, apple cider vinegar, softball mom, 80-day obsession and cycle, using the supplements that I use, mason jar meal prep, transformation. Another one that would go in here now, which we just started it this week, would be my gut health journey. So there's a lot of different areas of me in this season of life and what that looks like. But this is not all about coaching. This is not all about Beachbody. There's a lot here that make me up as an individual. And so it's important to remember that you're not just one area of this, and that's not just what you're going to share on social media. You'll share all different kinds of things. So the goal is to continue to grow and find your voice. And I know sometimes in the beginning, this can be difficult because we can feel a little bit overwhelmed with this, and we could feel like, we don't know what to post, or we don't know what to say. So I'm going to be giving you this 21-day posting plan, and it's an entire strategy with 21 days worth of Mad Libs where you can go in and write your own post, but the idea is there. And so you can see, like the day 1, day 8, and day 15 is talking about your fitness journey. So I'm going to ask that you start this next Monday. Day 2 is like a behind the scenes. So on Tuesday of every week, behind the scenes, talking about family life, favorite things, family and pets. Day 3, you're going to be sharing your workout space. You can share your setup. You can share your workout moves. It's totally up to you. What does your workout space look like? Day 4 or Thursday of each week, you're going to be talking about personal growth. Maybe you're going to share a favorite quote from a book that you're reading. Maybe you're going to share the books themselves. Maybe you're going to talk about some personal growth that's happened in your life, something that you've learned, how your life is changing. It's totally up to you. You get to share what you want to share, but every Thursday. Then on Friday, you're going to get outside. You're going to go on an adventure. You're going to work out outside. You're going to share something you love about working, being outside. Today in our community, we're talking about, do you prefer to cycle or walk or run? Like go for a walk and talk about like how you feel when you go for a walk. and why you incorporate that into your day to day. Totally up to you. Something outside, maybe you're even outside just watching, baseball or kiddos play softball or something. It's totally up to you, but you can share, oh my gosh, I'm loving this so much this season that we're in. It's so fun because it's getting us all outside. We're getting that fresh air. You fill in the blank for you. Day 6, what do you do for fun? This is the weekend. This is Saturday. So what do you like to do for fun? Is it baking? Is it gardening? Is it going to the beach? What do you do for fun? And then every Sunday, day 7, you're going to be sharing about coaching, sharing about the team, sharing about hopping on team calls, sharing about your coaching journey, maybe some of your travel goals. Maybe you're excited for Coach Summit. Maybe you are just super excited because you are currently, you've hit month 1 of Success Starter, or you are starting to see this transformation take place. All of those things. You get to choose what that's going to look like for you. And then we're going to go over assignments. So create your schedule. You're going to commit to your tracker. You're going to create your schedule, which I already gave you, Monday through Sunday. I want you to write it out. What does your time look like? Where are your empty blocks of time that you can focus on coaching? You're going to commit to your tracker, and you're going to do it at least 5 out of 7 days every week, you guys. Realistically, show up 5 days. You've got to build that consistency. It's just like a fitness journey. You have to build that consistency in the routine to create momentum. It has to become a rhythm. And when you commit to that, it becomes a rhythm and you start to see success, which is what I want for you. So you need to make any time management adjustments that you need. Maybe your week looks a little extra crazy. You have some extra appointments, some extra stuff going on with kiddos. Who knows what your week looks like, but make any adjustments and figure out what those pockets are so that you can commit to doing your business activity tracker and showing up and sharing your social media. You're going to complete your own color wheel. And again, everything that you need will be inside of your homework assignment. So you're going to receive a blank copy of this. I'm asking that you create your own. Again, this is me. This is not you. So go and see, what are these things? What fitness journey are you on right now? What Beachbody supplements do you utilize? I know I use Energize. I use Recover. I use Shakeology. I also take greens and collagen. What does that look like for you? You're going to share the things that you use. I also do mason jar meal prep because it works for my family. What do you do to meal prep? What does that look like for you? Transformation, coach life. What does that look like? Hopping on calls, hosting trainings, being a part of trainings, maybe leaning into the National Wake Up Call and the team calls that we have on Tuesdays, being a part of this phase 2 training. Milestones of kids, of pets, of family members. Maybe your parents are even, getting older and aging, and what that looks like as you're celebrating their life and spending quality time with them and making that intentional time for your family. Faith, do you have faith? Do you go to church? If not, fill this with something else. It doesn't have to be this. This is just for me. Morning routines. What do you do in the morning? What does your morning look like? I get up, I make my bed, I take my ACV, I get my go-go juice, I do my workout, I read some for my personal development. What does that look like for you? Date nights. These are non-negotiable for me. You are going to go all the way around this, and you are going to make one for you. What are your hobbies? What are your habits? What are things that you love? What are some areas that you're working to improve? Maybe that's meal prep for you. You're going to share about all these things. And then ultimately, after you complete your color wheel, you are going to complete the pre-call form for next week. So you've got your assignments. Everything will be in your homework from this week. And then your goal is by May 31st to hit Success Club, which means help 3 new people, and for Emerald on repeat. So that means bringing on, if you're not at 2 already, then it'll be hitting Emerald. If you're at 2 already, then it'll be Emerald on repeat. So that means bringing on 2 business builders or 2 preferred customers, or a preferred customer and a business builder, and hitting that first rank so that you can unlock Team Cycle bonus and start earning that residual income that comes from building a team. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so honored that you're here. I love getting to do this with you. If you have questions, if you need help with any of this, please reach out. This is what I'm here